Hey Summerfield, Kyle Stalls. I was doing some work down in Greensboro today, taking a break from that. Figured this would be a good time to cut a video. I've already done a video on development before, but the YouTube short format that I'm using now is getting a lot more views. So I'm just going to rehash that other one in a condensed fashion for the new folks to see if we can reach a broader audience. So development. When my wife and I moved to Summerfield 2.5 years ago, we looked at our house and we thought, will this work for 25 years? We decided yes. So we're here for the long haul. And halfway through that period, I don't want to find myself living in, something that's been paved over, like Battleground Avenue, somewhere where I don't really want to be. So I want to preserve the character of Summerfield as best we can. That's why people are here. They like the rural character. They like the charm. If we lose that, we effectively lose Summerfield. Now, I've also learned from Raleigh last summer that we are going to have to play ball with developers. We're not going to be able to build a wall around the town. If we try to do that, we're going to get crushed. So we're going to have to show that we can work with developers and that we can present a strong vision for the town. That's going to be the most important thing. Now, a great example, right at 150 and 220, and we have a developer looking to potentially put a gourmet grocer in there. I reviewed that rezoning as a part of the planning board, and I voted to recommend it. It was in line with our comprehensive plan. I felt like it was scaled appropriately. It's similar to what they have in Oak Ridge, but scaled down a fair bit. So I thought it worked for the area. There was some pushback from neighbors. Their concerns were valid. Their concerns deserve to be heard, and they will continue to be relevant throughout the process of approval as things move forward. So they'll be heard, but yeah, that's a good example of, a way that the town can work with developers. We're the ones doing the negotiating. I work with developers pretty often at work. He seemed about as above board as it gets in terms of giving up concessions and the idea that he presented. So something like that. And again, people ask, well, what are we going to see over the next 20 years? Like, well, I don't know exactly what things are going to be brought to the table. However, I can tell you the value system that I'm going to use to evaluate it. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. Is it in line with the character of the town that we want to have? In order to establish that, we're in the process of redoing our comprehensive plan right now. And that's going to receive a lot of citizen input. And we're also in the process of developing a strategic plan. We need to put pen to paper, sometimes just sketching out what we want to see, what we want Summerfield to be, what we want it to look like, talking to our citizens, getting input on that, and having a vision for Summerfield that allows us to, when developers come to the table, say, this is what we want to see, this is what our people have agreed on, this is what we like. And I think that would give us the best bet for working with developers, for getting some things built for the benefit of our citizens without negatively imposing on them. Happy Halloween.